And yes, recording. Okay, I'm Guido. This is a True Potential show. And today we have Roland. A year ago you were as well, Roland Engelbracht, trainer in Myofascial Energetic Release,
Yeah.
chronic pain therapy, chronic pain therapeutic you are. And last time I interviewed you, and we did, I did two trainings, and now I did all 7 of them. So there has been changed a lot in this year. And then I'm not even speaking about the pandemic and all that stuff. So yeah, I want to highlight especially the opening the breath part, because it was yesterday that we met in real life, and that I had an opening the breath session, which there happened a lot with. So first of all, thank you for being here, and yeah, welcome in this conversation finally.
Yeah, thank you.
After some difficulties on the line,
Yeah,
finally here.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Guido, for inviting me.
Yes. So opening the breath. Yeah, can you just like give a explanation for like me, and yeah, especially like the 3D breath. Like a lot of people hear nowadays about breath. You have of course like Wim Hof, the Iceman, and breath work, but like there's a lot happening in the body. Like, and then, yeah, the breath really can help you to expand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the use of myofascial energetic release and also meditation, you can find and dissolve limitations in breathing. And as you learned yesterday, you can do the body reading on a person in 3 dimensions, the sideways breathing and the vertical breathing, and also the forward backward breathing. And that's more or less what you can just palpate by breathing. And then you learn where people are restricted in that way. Some people are restricted and they have a band here around their waist, here, just above the diaphragm, or they have a here around the shoulder girdle. They have holding patterns, and you can free them from that, and then they can breathe fully. And as Thomas Myers calls it, the basket, the breathing basket.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call it. How do you call the rib cage, which is more like a cage.
Yeah.
The basket is more like a fluid basket, and it should be fluid. All the ribs should be floating in the fascia.
Yeah.
And when they flow in the fascia, then you can really fully breathe your breath. And that's from essential cause in life, that you can breathe fully and that your heart gets enough space. That's why the module opening the breath is so beautiful to learn and also to explore as a healer.
Yeah, exactly, because it's really about the physical spaces around the heart as well, right? Like we call it myofascial energetic release, and then people might think like, yeah, energy work, what is that? But it's also really about the space that you have literally in your body for movement,
Yeah,
around your heart.
it's the fascia. The fascia, it's also being called connective tissue, and when it's too connective, it holds, and when it holds, it doesn't give you free space to breathe. And when it's really contracted, it's frozen in a way. As you learned yesterday, you also had parts in your body which could be open more.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like, I mean, I have the feeling that I can breathe really deep, like,
Yeah,
and you told me like, especially like sideways,
yeah,
there wasn't happening that much.
And backwards also. In the back, it was also pretty frozen. And now it's also opening in the back, and it's all flowing. Your breathing was more up and down,
Yeah.
and it can also be up and sideways and down,
Yeah.
and also from back and forth. So back and forth, and when it's going in this flowing motion, then you have all the oxygen and all the energy you can get. And when it's frozen or stiff or held in a way, then you are not able to breathe in the fully potential. And as it is a pure potential show,
Yeah,
talk
exactly.
about
With a very
freeing potential here.
yeah, exactly. So by touch, by strokes, and it's also like guidance, and that's like a concept that I understood less before this year, but by really helping people to like go in a certain direction in this session, like, hey, okay, you can lengthen up there, or you can really breathe into that place where you feel the touch.
Yeah, you have to guide your clients into breathing, for instance, so that they can touch the place you touch them from the inside and really stretch out the fascia from the inside by breathing in that place. But also charge and discharge. You just ask them to charge the place up, and then you get this touch from the inside, expanding and freeing the whole places in the rib basket.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yes.
fascinating.
Yeah, you have to guide people. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there like, if you take the module, especially like the opening the breath, which we did the session yesterday, is there like a kind of like plan that you go through, or is it like different in every person? How does it work?
Yeah, as you learned yesterday, I begin the session in front of the mirror so I can show the person where the breathing is limited. And then I show them that it's limited. And then you make a plan from there. So it's a one-on-one customized session.
Yeah,
I learn all
exactly.
the trainees also to do it this way. So they can uh, look at the body in a three-dimensional way.
Yeah, and everybody has like different holding patterns in different places.
Yeah, exactly.
And to speak like personally, I wasn't aware like of this
No.
sideway limitation situation, as we said it yesterday.
Yeah. But okay. But that's normal. People don't look at themselves in this three-dimensional body reading way, which is good to learn as a body worker.
Yeah.
And it gives you a lot of information to get a real customized, to build a customized session for your clients.
Yeah, exactly. Where really the breath can expand more, and so the energy levels can increase.
Yeah, in this case, the breath, because everything was focused on the breathing and also on the heart opening.
Yeah, exactly. So you go through a certain segment, right? Like you talk already about the heart diaphragm area, and there's a lot of places that you like say, okay, that are the places that we're gonna learn technique strokes with, but also like the chest, right? Like the upper chest. I mean, it's kind of like close to the heart, but it's also you said here like in the around the collarbone there can be holding a lot, and it can like really
That's
cause
limiting breathing also. So a lot of people have a holding pattern around their shoulder girdle. And when the shoulder girdle is held, and it's also difficult to breathe into the lungs, because the lungs are really high in the body. They're smaller than we think, and they're high in the body. And there's this bulge, this muscle, this big muscle. I hope you can see this. The diaphragm down there, and here these muscles all from the neck, the scalenes and the collarbone and the shoulders, they have to be able to open and to do this movement too, to breathe on a normal way, in a free way.
Yeah. So the lungs are high in the muscle, but what do we actually mean then with breathing in your belly, for example?
Now, breathing in your belly is that you push down the diaphragm into the belly, and then the belly blows up, and that's what you call breathing in the diaphragm, because the diaphragm is actually the real muscle you breathe with. there's a lot of restrictions in between ribs and in the thoracic inlet that holds breathing. But the diaphragm is really the muscle that you breathe with. And when you ask people to breathe in their belly, then they really go into this muscle, which you cannot control so much, because it's a muscle that you are not controlling all the moments of your day.
No, exactly, because it's mostly happening unconscious, subconscious, right? Like breathing is just automatic.
Yeah, and then
Luckily.
but then you do that. So that's why we call it breathe in your belly.
Okay. So, because breathing is so automatic, yeah, luckily, otherwise it would be like quite an effort to do like every day. You know how many breaths a human does in a day? Like it should be like 20,000 or something, but most people actually have it more around 40,000. So that also tells something about the depth and the shallowness of the breath.
Yeah, and it tells a lot about the emotional way they are going through their life as well. Because people who are high breathers, they're probably scared persons. They're on a high scale of alertness. And people who are low breathing, slow breathing, they are in the parasympathetic state. They're in the nourishing state. They're relaxed.
Yeah.
So people who are high breathing, they're more like in almost in a flight state, or a flee state.
Is it also what you talked about? It's stuck in an exhale.
Some people are stuck in the freeze. Yeah,
I remember that. Like you said a couple trainings, like you can really see that when people have this going on, right?
Yeah, they are stuck in an exhale. They're breathing out and never were able to breathe in again.
Yeah, to fully breathe in again. So that becomes their holding pattern. So
yeah, a lot of people that you call them oral types are from the Reichian body types. They're oral types. They're stuck in an exhale. They're undercharged.
Undercharged.
So what you do in a session is you charge them up. So you ask them to charge, and then they get more and more energy, and they get in a different, their body changes a lot, and then they change also from their character structure, from their holding pattern.
Yeah.
Hold space. And that's a beautiful thing about his work, that you really can help people out of their holding.
Out of their holding.
Yeah.
So if we give an example, like to help people out of their holding, yesterday, I mean, I came in, I wasn't like aware, but like after I had more like space in breathing in the back, and I felt that really, but also like in the side. So in one session, I felt like that can happen quite a lot already, and I have that with like people also when I give them sessions, not only on the breath, also like implementing other elements, of course, depending on the symptom. But is there like specific problems, especially in like modern society problems, that specifically opening the breath session can help with?
Yeah, people, as I mentioned, all the holding patterns are charged by emotions. So people hold for a reason. They have been in situations that they maybe didn't like so much, and then they developed a holding pattern around this situation. And a lot of times during sessions, when you open up this space, then the health feeling, what was the cause of the holding pattern, comes up again, and then it's going to be free, and it's going to stay for that way, because they recognize the situation, and they the subconscious cannot fool the conscious anymore. So they come out of their holding pattern and stay that way by releasing the emotional part of it.
Okay, so there's a lot happening related to emotions. I mean, as we see as
Yeah,
well.
I shared with you yesterday in the session, that that's probably something holding you also from taking all that space that you are able to take, and that you are allowed to take, but that you don't take because of some reason. You didn't feel the emotion so much, but that's not necessary. You release a lot of tension, and the release is the most important. The emotional, to me, the real emotion involved, that's not the goal, and that's not so important. The release, the waking up the tiger release, the shaking and the breathing and whining release, that's more important than, to me, the emotional part of it.
Yeah. And I mean, yesterday you told me also in a way, like at the end, you told me like, hey, I have done 7 or 8 years as a co-trainer before I started to be a trainer in this work, right?
Yeah.
And I remember also.
Co-trainer of Satyarthi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Satyarthi.
for a long time, maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Less than 8 years. So.
8 years. So was it also during the time, I remember this story about that you had asthma or something like this?
Yeah, that was there was a whole.
They're very relevant for this level, right?
Yeah, some people have this disease or other pulmonic diseases, like how do you say this in English? Not asthma, but other pulmonic diseases.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot to open up the rib basket.
Yeah.
to open freely. And in my case, I met some emotional thing about my past when somebody touched my intercostalis muscle on this side, and because there was some holding in there, but it was that had to do something with lack of breath during my birth.
Exactly.
That was the cause of my asthma. But after that, I didn't have to take medicine or stuff anymore.
And that happened during a training.
What?
That happened during a training that someone touched that.
Yeah, I was assistant, and there was an odd number. So to make it even, I was in, and was one of the better therapists touched me there, and then the whole thing went into this state of recognition of this problem and this feelings actually. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's
a good moment in my life.
Yeah, exactly. But that is like one of the main reasons why you fell even deeper in love with the work, right? I mean, you were already a co-trainer, but this helped tremendously, I think, in drawing out more of it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's
true.
Are there like I mean, I think this is like a major event, especially like if you still don't have like problems with it and you don't take medicine like until today, like that is something remarkable. So many people are like suffering and seeing it as something chronic where they will never get away from. I mean, and you don't like want to claim that you can help everyone with it, right? Because it might have a different story with everyone, but it's like the psychosomatic causation of your chronic illness.
That's why I like myofascial energetic release so much, because it really works on the psychosomatic levels as well, and that's why you can really help people heal their bodies and their traumas and their holding patterns, because they meet the stuff that caused it, and then it is gone.
Wow.
And that's the good thing about this work, as you know, as a practitioner now.
Yeah. touching the core of pain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, you have to go now, huh?
Yeah, it's better to do another session, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
And where we have more like go more in depth. Just like to finish off. I heard from a couple people that also did already a couple trainings. There were some questions about like what are now the following possibilities to join something. There's in May training. Is there something? And opening the breath was in June.
Yeah, now I have a block coming in Amsterdam. That's head, cranium, head, and arms, neck and arms.
Yeah.
And then in May we have the opening the breath block in Amsterdam.
In May was the cranium, right? The cranium.
in June we do the next, I think already. I don't know the schedule by my head, but it's roughly that way.
Yeah.
And then we go into the fluid body in August, I guess. And
yeah, we'll let's add a link to the exact schedule, and then
good
everyone
idea.
can see that. Because I saw that's something that I want to finish with. Maybe you want to say something like after this, but I've seen so many like tremendous transformations. People really stepping more into their being, you know, really feeling more energy, being more charged up to take on things, feeling less, literally like less hold down. We could call it depressed, but that maybe covers it not fully.
No.
And then I see like you, and I think like you're so dry about it. Like, yeah, that happens, you know, and and that, you know, and then I'm like, oh man, that's so crazy. Like how
Awesome,
many transformations happen like during a training already, like without even giving sessions yourself. It's really about like receiving benefits first, and then like you can give from that full place where you feel really like, whoa, these are the benefits, amazing, I want to pass this work on.
Yeah, maybe I'm too cool about it, but I'm still really excited. But I see a lot, and I see a lot of people develop during a training, not only becoming a good body worker in deep body work, but also they develop themselves. They get more, they become mature people. They develop themselves a lot. They don't blame others for stuff they cause themselves, and they go out of the way when they do a session on somebody. They're not, their egos go away. They are just tuned in to give the best sessions they can. And I really like that, to see people develop that way. And they also dissolve, sometimes they dissolve really old traumatic stuff from their lives. And that helps also to develop, to become a better person. And that's why I do it. The both things, the helping people from their chronic pain, and also the growth of people during trainings. That they meet parts of themselves that they don't like maybe, but during this group work and working with me, I can help, or with Satyarthi, I can help the people develop to the best part of themselves.
Aho. That is exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
So thanks for sharing that, Roland.
Yeah.
Myofascial Energetic Release .eu, and I will put a link as well in when we post this out. And till the next time.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you for sharing.
Namaste.
Namaste.